What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing a rebuild. I mean, oh my shocker, that's a new thing to the channel. It's a realistic rebuild after the draft, after free agency, all of that stuff of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, a lot of people are projecting that this team ends up getting Trevor Lawrence in the next upcoming draft. Ooh, is Gardner still the star development here? Okay. But the question is, will this team be bad enough to even have an option of that? Because, of course, this team on paper, at least in Madden, doesn't look half bad. I know, guys like Leonard Fournette probably shouldn't be superstar, but I didn't do that. That's the game. This is what the team looks like. Of course, we do have, what's his name, Telvin Smith. We will have to release because I don't know if he's ever playing another game in the NFL ever. I also thought Chasen was a pass rusher, no? I guess he is kind of like 50-50. We'll probably keep him in coverage then because you have Josh Allen, you have Ngakoue, even though they do probably want to... Ooh, they do want to trade him. They definitely drafted Chasen to trade Ngakoue, who's on a 1-year. I think we're going to have to trade him. We're going to have to trade Ngakoue. And I think you should leave a like and subscribe if you know what's good for you. That's not like a threat. That's literally like a, hey, maybe you'll enjoy the channel, I guess. Desperation. We trade Yannick Ngakoue in a 4th-round pick to the Patriots for their 2nd-round pick and a 5th round next year, which I think is probably pretty fair. They need a pass rusher. Trey Flowers is gone, of course. They have, Simon. They have Lawrence, but Lawrence isn't really like an edge guy. They're a very weird team because they're kind of like a 3-4, 4-3, multiple kind of weird defense. I don't even want to get into it. But Chasen is going to start as a right end for this team, simply put. Don't have to pay him at least. Joe Schobert, I don't know what the contract is, but it's probably more than what he's getting here. I also seen apparently they're going to be moving Schobert to middle and then putting Miles Jack on the outside. Now, this is the question. Do we place Shaquille Quarterman at right outside linebacker? Who do they have right now? Telvin, of course, we're going to have to get rid of. Quincy Williams. I mean, they got a couple of guys here. I get, wanting depth, but is Shaquille even the guy? Like, there's some other players here. I know they're a little bit older, but they're all also a little bit better. I put Quarterman over there, but we'll see. To be fair, he does go to a 69 overall at outside, so yeah, we have a pretty full roster. We're going to have to release some players as well, and of course, we're going to have to clear the cap because we shouldn't lose any. Ooh, we can't clear the cap. Actually, it's how much? They're going to lose a decent bit on Yannick, so we're going to clear the cap now, and then we're going to just take the Telvin Smith penalty because I think that would probably be pretty fair, right? I'd say they're going to lose anywhere from 6 to 9 million, so 8.4 it seems pretty fair. I probably should have made him a bad overall first because probably not going to play in the NFL ever again. Andrew, when I make this freaking roster when I started, he's not in free agency. I don't know how he keeps... That's it, Andrew. That's it. We're getting an early start on ending you. What? Looking at what the roster will look like to start the year. Receivers, not terrible. Tight end, a little terrible, can't lie. Offensive line, you've got 2 really solid players on the interior, but outside of that, it's not great. Quarterback, Gardner Minshew. I mean, Minshew magic was a thing for a while. We'll see how he fares going for this next season. Looking at the defensive line, of course, we got to put Clayson there, or Chasen. I don't know why he's not there. I mixed his first and last name together. I don't know why he's not there right now. Free safety's looking a little rough. Corner's looking a little rough outside of Henderson. Melvin, he's on the older side of 29, even older than I thought. Taven Bryan, star development. Okay, I see you. Linebacking group. I don't know how Miles Jack is going to be able to play 2 linebacker positions, but we'll fix that. It's not the worst team. There's definitely some pieces to build on, but we're definitely going to need a good draft, which hopefully, once again, includes a nice pick 1 for you-know-who. Unless you don't know, it's Trevor Lawrence, obviously. What are you, stupid? Looking at what the team needs to re-sign, we do have Keelan Cole, but I think this team's already kind of prepared to move on from him. That's why they only gave him a 1-year deal. So I think we will also just be leaving him go. Perry Nickerson, I always love him as a user, but as far as AI goes, 3 years, $9.99 million. I mean, hey, if he shows up on the season, gets a dev up maybe, I mean, definitely willing to re-sign him. Here we are at the playoffs, and we win the last game, which kind of sucks because, A, it's the Colts who are like 12 wins. They should have just beat us. And B, we went on a bit of a losing streak, and we ended up 6-10. I don't even want to see it. I don't want to see it yet. But depending on what Gardner Minshew's season was like, which was, I mean, obviously touchdown to pick ratio is decent, but 3,400 yards, that's very bad. We're probably going to take QB, even if it isn't Trevor. We're going to take someone. DJ Chark, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, maybe good enough for superstar. Everyone else, though, kind of disappointing. Looking at the blocking, very bad blocking. We need offensive linemen as well. Tackles, Miles Jack and Schobert, maybe both superstar, at least one of them, hopefully. Chasen, I can't be mad with a 7.5 sack rookie year with 1 pick. 10 sacks for Josh Allen. And then let's take a look at picks. DJ Hayden with 3, Wilson with 2, and of course Henderson, nothing. Josh Lambo, even though he's one of the best kickers in the league based on ratings, missed 3 out of 18. Look at Herbert, MVP his rookie year, shocker. When we do his career sim, doesn't get it, but guess what? Here he does. Offensive Rookie of the Year, where was it? Offensive Rookie of the Year, Gardner Minshew at number 2, even though he's technically not a rookie, but you know what I mean. So I'm kind of glad he didn't win it. Josh Allen, yikes. But what can you really do about that? Anything else? I doubt it. No other award wins. So it's time to go to the Super Bowl, see if we had any dev-ups. And then, depending on what draft pick we have, we will see what we do for the draft. Ravens versus the Saints. The winner of this one is the Saints. I definitely thought it was going to be the Ravens, not going to lie. Looking at the dev-ups, Chark, please. Thank you very much, Chark. Superstar development for Chark, who is an 84 overall, and just an absolute god for user leagues. He's literally like the OG Metcalf, even though he's obviously rather small in comparison. Chenault, I think, should be the number 2. Day-Day Westbrook, I don't know what the contract situation is. Probably does need one here. Chenault, obviously on the team for at least 3 more years, minimum, maybe 4. Should be the guy we prioritize, honestly, the guy we should prioritize on doing well. Defensively, no dev-ups, which is very, very brutal. I would have thought at least Schobert with 118 tackles would have gotten one. Not bad progression, but I would have liked a little bit more, but then again, 6 wins is 6 wins. And then re-signings, Keelan Cole, we're going to let go. Perry does want less, technically, because he wants a 2-year. We have older guys, but we kind of have that position on lock, so we're going to let Perry go, I think. The real question is, where's this team's money? Because, of course, Gardner's not getting that kind of crazy money. We did up Joe Schobert's money. Is that what Darius is making? If he is, he's being released. I'm going to take a look at his actual contract, but if he's getting paid that much, he's gone. If not, we're adjusting him. Leonard Fournette probably will get the contract. DJ Hayden, I know he was decent for us, but if we can find replacements, we can upgrade this team quite a bit because, this team is very expensive for... Oh, AJ can't do it, man. Sorry. But obviously he's in at the stakes. We can't afford to. Abry Jones, that is quite a bit. So we do have a lot of money we can free up. We just have to actually do... Oh, we got to change Chenault's contract 4 more years. We're just going to make it a 4-year. See if there's anyone actually in free... That's not free agency, damn it. See if there is actually anyone in free agency, though. So we have 30 mil to work with. Probably can get that number to around 45, maybe even more mil. Chris Jones. We saw a guy like Buckner go. It's very unlikely, I feel, in this day and age of the NFL for DTs or D linemen that are that talented to be let go rather than tagged and traded. But maybe they had to try to tag someone else. I don't know. So I'm going to make the argument that he hits free agency because he does quite often, and some other team's going to get him if we don't. So 97-point offer probably declines, but that would be huge. Calais Campbell was okay for that 1 year, but I suppose replacing Calais Campbell with that guy is kind of big. We're looking to probably get a new QB, so we're going to treat this, as if we are trying our very best, even though we should have already been trying our very best. Don't tell anyone. Trying our very best to turn this into a playoff/Super Bowl team right away. So there's not a whole lot of great names here, But there are a few that we can get, like Tedrick Thompson would be a huge addition to the team. He's 25. We just got to get some young guys that are developable, which, that's what we're going to do behind the scenes here. So, a little bit of disappointment as Chris Jones declines a contract that would have been huge for us. Of course, DT is not the hardest thing in the draft in the world, but it's just not a need. It's a need. It's just not a position we can fill probably through this draft, as QB needs to be number 1, and, lineman probably in the second, obviously best available, but the chance of getting a DT in the second round, that's great like that, probably not high. Would have been nice to fill that, but with Delanie Walker, backup tight end, great blocker for Leonard Fournette. Tedrick Thompson, a nice 3-year, I think, was it $9 million? It was something cheap. Jalen Richard, backup running back. Eli Apple might even be a starter for us. And then Jakeem Grant, backup, but mainly kick return specialist. Looking at the team, I think we definitely should try to find a team to take Marcel Darius' contract. We could even do a draft day trade of Gardner Minshew, maybe a late third-round value, I would say would be pretty fair. And then looking at defensively, like I said, DT, Taven Bryant might be the projected starter for us this upcoming season. Cornerback, free safety, big needs. Mainly, like we said, DT for the defensive side, corner as well. But yeah, we can't. We can if we have to, but I do not want to pay Marcel $19 million. But at the same time, do we even have anyone that we need to re-sign? We couldn't get any of those big-name free agents, so the money's kind of just sitting there anyways, isn't it? Like $23 million. All right, the first overall pick goes to the Raiders. Now, I'd be willing to bet that, wow, the Raiders have 1 and 4. I'd be willing to bet that number 2 and 3 would not be a QB. Can we get to number 1, though? Because we're number 7. Oh, man. So we trade pick 7, pick 14, and Barch for pick number 1. Of course, we will have to also give them a second-round pick. We're going to be giving them pick number 55, though, as I think that's pretty fair. There we go. So we do get Trevor Lawrence. After all, it just kind of costed us everything we've ever wanted. Now, looking at the draft board, we did have Patrick Surtain there. We had Tyson Campbell. Maybe we should have just waited for Tyson Campbell instead. But there's no question about it. Trevor Lawrence is the easy, clear-cut pick, and we take him 84 overall, 21 years old. You just can't. You get to number 1, you take Trevor Lawrence. It's simply put. And now, pick 7 in the second round, we did have a free safety, Mr. B.J. Foster, and I think if he's good enough, because it says he's a hybrid, if he's good enough, we would put him at corner. I just don't know how far along he'll go. If we can get to maybe 22, because obviously we did trade up quite a bit, and we lost quite a bit. No first round next year. We lost our extra second we got from apparently the great Patriots. JT Daniels goes pretty high, but I would like to trade up for him. Campbell goes at 16. Wow, if I knew he's going to last that long, I would have traded up maybe to try and get him. Of course the Patriots screw us. Of course the Patriots screw us. I will say we did get a little bit greedy. We probably should have, made a play a little bit sooner than that. We do have D'Angelo Boone, though. We also do have Vincent McLeod, who could play corner. I think we're going to go for Boone. How much does it cost to get here, though? He might be gone right here. I don't know. Let's see. We give them 39 and 78 with Abry Jones, but we're also going to be giving them our 5th round this year and a 5th round next year. We are trading... Ooh, they do not have a 7th round pick. We'll take it this year, I guess. Yeah, we are trading quite a bit in this draft, but we're trying to grab players that we think are going to be great, which obviously we know Trevor Lawrence is. Though. Do we need wide receiver? Because Jamar Chase is still here. And I'm pretty sure he's very good. I did not think he was going to be here. Damn. Why does everything got to be so confusing? Oh, man, I don't think we need Jamar Chase, but at the same time, best available is very much a thing. Like, we have Cosme later, but that's one player. He's a late-round player. Jamar Chase, man, wide receiver, a.k.a. starting. Yeah, let's go with the lineman. Damn, son. 76. Okay, he is a little bit better than I remember. I thought he was like a 73 hidden, but he's a 76 hidden. Damn. Okay. I don't remember what... Jamar Chase is very good. Yeah, 77 overall. I mean, I still think overall we probably did make the best decision, right? We had to go O-line. We do have Sam Ehlinger late. Oh, we have Trevor. Sam was our backup plan. Shout out to the guy that's been wanting us to take him for so long now. He's like, come on, man. Give us the Sam. If it would have been a little bit later, like pick 10 or 11, I think we would have. But it wasn't, so suck it, Trevor. Not suck it, Trevor. Trevor's on our team. So Cosme's easily our biggest need right now, because Sam is great and all, but we don't really need him right now. Late 5th, I think we can get away with maybe adding a 4th-round pick by trading down 7 to maybe like early 4th or late 3rd. We traded a 71 and a 6th round for 81. This 98 next. AJ Dillon. I don't understand why the user team always ends up with one of those players. So the Buccaneers traded up and they end up with a guard. I mean, in fairness, they thought they had their guy. They need a lineman for Brady. It was a good trade up, just not a great draft pick. We're going to take Sam Cosme right now, and thankfully he is hidden. I couldn't remember if he was or not. Thankfully he is, though. And let's see if we should go all the way down or not. I don't know if we even have a single hidden left, actually. I don't know if we do. I really don't. Willis Morgan, maybe? 5th rounder. We could use a DT, but, I mean, best case scenario, he would have to be hidden. Let's just go to pick 7 in the 5th round. So Samuel Burton, I mean, he's okay. We also do have another guard. Do we take the guard? Let's take the guard. Okay, so normal development, 69 overall. It's a good pick, I guess. Jamison Kirkpatrick. He looks good. He looks like he has a lot of potential. We're going to take him as well. Okay, normal again, but he is a 69 overall. He's a little bit slower than I would have thought, actually. How big is he? Can't play linebacker. Yikes. Okay, I guess Tedrick's going to start after all. And then we have 2 final picks. Are they both undrafteds? We have the fullback, Zach Dixon. Screw it, we'll go for him. He's hidden, and I also did not know he was 24, but he is hidden, so, I mean, it's definitely a win. But if he was normal, that would have been a huge yikes. And then pick 25 in the 7th round, we'll take our final player, who will be Mr. Carl McLaughlin, 23 years old, normal. We went kind of old in this draft, I kind of lie, but ultimately we landed the #1 prize, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. It'd be kind of interesting to see if someone is willing to trade #1, because we don't know who #1 is going to be. You know, there could be, I don't know, a team. I'm trying to think of a team that's good, doesn't need QB, that could suck. That's the thing. Most teams with a good QB are at least going to be, you know, like, at worst, like pick 5. But, of course, Trevor Lawrence, we already know he's an X Factor, but in case you want to know, here he is, Trevor Lawrence, Superstar X Factor. Boone, I believe everyone else we have is star. I don't know about the fullback, to be fair, but I think Boone's star. He's also going to be our new right guard, so right guard Boone, not bad. Cosme, who I believe will stay at left tackle, is star himself. Morale's already dropped. Star development. And then the fullback, I do not know. We signed the fullback we have right now to like a 3 or 4 year deal, but it was pretty cheap, so it really doesn't matter. And he is star, so I mean, it was a good draft, right? It was decent. Actually, was pick #2 actually Fields? Because I did move Fields to #2 in this class. He did go #2 to the Jets. Interesting. Patrick Certain to this. Okay, the Raiders did well for themselves. They got Certain at #4, and then Micah Parsons at #7. They did really well for themselves. They also had a 2nd-round pick. I'd like to see that. That trade down was actually not bad for him at all. They end up with Colin Schooler. He is normal, but okay. I mean, fair enough. Not a bad draft at all from them. But yeah, we obviously got, like we said, the ultimate prize, Trevor Lawrence. Was he, along with the offseason we had, enough to make the playoffs? I don't know, but I hope we're at least very close if we don't, because obviously we lost our 1st-round pick in the trade for Lawrence, which means, you know, if we do really badly, then the Raiders really win. Like, they already kind of won from that trade, but they're really going to win if we do. I suppose we'll keep Darius, and we ended up getting Eli Apple and Hargraves. Probably going to release Hayden. I know he had 3 picks on the season, but that's, you know, that could literally be luck. Like, it doesn't take much to get 3 picks on a season. So we're going to release him, release any other expensive guys outside of Darius, and we'll move on. And hopefully, like I said, aiming for 6 to 9 wins. Obviously, a playoff berth would be amazing, but 7 wins would be awesome. We start off with a pretty hefty trade. We trade Gardner Minshew, Chris Conley, and DJ Hayden to the Panthers for their second-round pick. Of course, we don't know what that could be. The Patriots was actually bad, even though they probably should have been good. Gardner Minshew at star, definitely worth, a higher, third, maybe late second, and then you add the other guys, and I think it all comes together that way. Of course, you look at our overalls, they're still pretty low, but you also look at their age. We got really young players on the team, which, is in this case good because they're going to most likely develop rather quickly. So, come this time next year, it should be like 85, 86 overall if we're lucky. Team, of course. Hopefully the players are a little bit higher than that. Tedrick Thompson is a star development safety. Nice. Time for negotiations. We have Leonard Fournette, a 5-year 34, which is, don't mind me. Don't mind me at all. D.D. Westbrook. I like him. 80 overall. Yeah, we'll pay him. 3-year, 27 mil. Fair enough. And then looking at the other re-signings, Josh Dobbs, Colin Johnson should be on the team, so we'll fix that real quick. He should be on the team for another 2 years. I don't really think he'll ever be anything for us. Maybe in real life he will, but in Madden it's just too much of a project. Marcel Darius obviously learning that he's worth a lot less than he's getting paid currently. So if it comes to it and he's still around at an okay overall, we'll probably re-sign him. But if we're being honest, the chances of that are very low. Cam Robinson, going to let him go. Trey Herndon, we're going to let him go. Smoot, I think we're going to let a lot of these guys go. I just don't see where maybe we'll keep Lutton. Actually, no, we have to keep Lutton because he's going to be on, I think he was a later round pick, so maybe 1 more year. I think that makes sense. Headed to playoffs. If we miss, I'm going to be mad. We did not miss, but the reason why I would say I was going to be mad, middle of the season, we were on a bit of a win streak, and it came down to a loss to an 0-9 Raiders team. We lost by 1, and that could have costed us big time, but we beat the Titans, which, of course, the Titans are 9-7, so if we would have lost that game, probably wouldn't have made the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence, pretty decent season. I want to see the rushing numbers. Leonard Fournette, okay. Receiving, Westbrook had a pretty good year. Chark was kind of on a down year. Walker shouldn't even have started, really, but here he is starting. Blocking, offensive line was actually very good. Cosme started as well, so maybe Cam Robinson. Actually, I forgot, Cam Robinson is a starter for us, isn't he? Whoops. Jason, 10 sacks. Josh Allen, kind of disappointing. Picks, really disappointing, man. Henderson, his overall's all right because he started as a young overall. Ooh, there you go, Jakeem. We brought him in for the return game, and who knows, that might have been a game-winning type of deal. But, ooh, Jameis on the Giants. I thought we would see Gardner Minshew. And yes, of course, I did forget what I was going to say. Kenneth Murray, right, so anything for us? No? At all? Nothing? No? Oh, I do want to see, is Gardner on the list? Damn, maybe we swindled him. I don't know. I want to see his season, I suppose. But yeah, Henderson, a lower, his age was low, so his development of star meant quite a bit. But yeah, just not really getting the job done. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, he was on the NFC side. It doesn't matter because he didn't really play that well anyways. But here we are going against the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that trade to get Trevor Lawrence seems to be a pretty good decision now because Trevor was able to make us a good team, which is kind of like, do you trade down? I know we see that in real life a lot, but if you're trading down and you're getting a first-round pick, even if it is a top 10 pick this year, you're giving them the draft selection to make them a better pick. So it's just like, how do you value that, And I love this weather game. I would, the Buffalo, just a round of applause for the Buffalo Bills because they have the most snow games in Madden by far. I'm kind of thinking maybe Buffalo could be our team next year. I'm just saying, maybe, because I love snow games and they definitely have amongst the most in Madden, I would say. Right to left is them. They keep missing kicks. Obviously, the wind and snow is going to play a factor. Offense has got to do something about this. And unfortunately, defense chokes up hard, but it doesn't help that the offense played the worst game I've ever seen, ever. How many picks was this? The Jaguars are just absolutely, they're just screwed. Like, I don't know what to tell you here. Like, it's just not working out. We might have to change up the scheme. I mean, we had a really good regular season. You know, all things considered, we made the playoffs in a semi-tough division, but that playoff performance against the Bills was absolutely disgustingly bad. Let's go to the Super Bowl. I don't think, outside of Westbrook, there would have been even a single guy that would have dev'd up, honestly. The winner of the Super Bowl is the Cowboys. Big shocker there. Chark. Yeah, Westbrook didn't even develop up. That's terrible. Delaney Walker, of course, retires. Defensively, any dev ups? I'm trying to think. I don't think we had a single dev up on defense. We didn't have a single dev up at all. That is harsh. What is Darius's overall? 78, so we probably will give him that 1-year contract. We have other needs that I think we should probably try to address. So if we can, keep DT off that needs list for 1 more year, that would be great. There's a very good chance he says no, though. I'm willing to pay him this, nothing more. Yeah, I knew he would say no, but at the same time, I also feel like we can get better. I feel like with 70 mil, there should be some sort of big name here that can definitely change us a bit here. 77 mil to be exact. Herbert, why would he be a free agent? That makes no sense. I'm sorry, but Lattimore is sitting here, and he's the biggest need on this team by far. Not he, but, the position. Half tempted to take Chidobe Awuzie as well. It'd be amazing. I'm willing to keep Tedrick Thompson because he was actually pretty damn good. Curtis Samuel. There's a lot of players being let go that you wouldn't expect to see. Do we fight for David Njoku? I'm sorry. I think we need a tight end. Could go for Jonnu, who cost us a little bit less too. I'm actually a little surprised. I mean, we got everybody. Like, we got Awuzie. I offered him a lot less than he wanted. I offered him like a 3-year, was it 28 mil? I think he wanted something around 12 to 13 mil per year. We got him on, 8 or 9 per. We got Lattimore. That was a pretty expensive contract in fairness. We got 2 DTs, obviously Malik Jackson and Wilkerson. Wilkerson, not really a DT, but we're going to play him there. We got Jonnu Smith, and we did get Devin McCourty plus Alex Mack. I am actually surprised we got those names. I mean, obviously, we are a team on the come-up, so I guess they see that. For some reason, Justin Herbert doesn't have an offer. Offered Keanu Neal a 5-year 36, but he hasn't accepted yet or declined, so I don't know. I guess maybe we should bump it a little bit more. Actually, no, we got Devin McCourty. We don't need him anymore. I might actually just pull the offer completely. Like, don't get me wrong, I hate going for, similar players every time, but at the same time, we have 77 mil. If we don't spend any, that would be the ultimate unrealistic move. Because, obviously, I mean, you're sitting there with all that cap space. Well, what are you doing with it? That's why you see these, we all say, oh, what the hell? Why did, the Giants pay Blake Martinez 10 mil per year? It's like, I mean, the money does nothing. At least, even if the player isn't great, at least you're adding some sort of talent. And obviously for us, we know, who might be the better players. Obviously, Lattimore is a very high overall, so pretty obvious one there. So with those names, we obviously have to look at the updated roster. I would say we'll move somebody. Somebody's got to play tackle here. And I would imagine Boone is the most qualified. Damn it. None of these players really seem like they could play tackle. Norwell is like a true guard. Can't really move him around. He's not that fast either. Mac, probably not, right? I've played him at tackle before and it worked out well, but I guess Boone, the younger player, is going to slide over to tackle, I suppose. Let's move him to right tackle and then put Cosme at left because at least Cosme is kind of, he's built for tackle, so he'll play the tougher position. And then we'll put Mac at left guard. Really should put Mac at right guard, so then it's not a completely new left side. I know obviously Norwell hasn't played there, but it makes more sense that way. We'll have to fix that at some point, but we know we have our line set. We just have to look at some of the ages. Linder needs to be replaced at some point. Norwell probably maybe this season, because of course at least Linder's a higher overall. Norwell is going to drop to like an 80 by the end of the year probably. Westbrook we have on the wide receiver we're set. I mean, there's not we can't do anything for a wide receiver now. Tight end is good for now. We need a linebacker, we need a DT, and then we still are kind of looking at free safety. I mean, we have all the players in place. They just need to develop a little bit better. But overall, I mean, we're great. Henderson probably ruined him a little bit by getting Awuzie, but at the same time, I didn't think we were going to get him. I didn't think we were going to get that offer. I just put it on there because, once again, we have the money. A $9 million per year Awuzie is completely worth it. 3-year deal as well, so he's not locked in for life. Yeah, I'd say we're going to prioritize linebacker, not that we have a first-round pick anyways. But, I think we did well, considering, once again, we don't have that first-round pick. So, linebacker, DT, we'll look at safety, and then, of course, offensive line is pretty much always on the mind of an NFL team. All right, so the first draft pick we have is 21 in the second round. Now, I will say there are a lot of second to third round talented players that I would like to have on the team, so we might even splurge a little bit again into next year. Will Davenport is a must-have DT. I feel Will Davenport is everything you want. Jameek Dees, who looks absolutely insane as well, I think is a guy we can let go because we do have Jonnu, but that's tough again. I think if there's only 2 players we can land, Davenport and O'Neal are the 2. So we should try to move up to, the Dolphins here at 1 and then the Raiders at 4. We give the Dolphins 53 Jawan Taylor and a 4th-round pick for 33. Jawan Taylor may be a little unrealistic, but I think we have the linemen we need. If we just land one of these guys, Schneider, Overton, or Nielsen. So I think Davenport easily, outside of I guess the linebacker isn't a huge, huge need, but Davenport I think is the biggest need, so we're going to take Davenport, and he was very good. Even if he's star, which something tells me he might be, I think that's a great pick. Of course, we have the stupid whole day to reorder. Let's go to the Raiders here, and then I think we should trade up again. Can we get away with a few more moves, though? Should we just keep going until one of the guys is gone, Nielsen or O'Neal? Both have kind of similar names. Holy crap. That's quite a good pick. Knowing us, the linebacker will go first. Okay, he didn't, thankfully. That guard is very good, though. So let's go to the Vikings. We saved a little bit by trading, moving down a little bit there. So let's try to move here. They do need a linebacker, so we need to make it worth their while. Should we just risk it and trade Quarterman here? Quarterman and 56, I think, is totally worth the trade. Ooh, they don't want it, though. You can't tell me it's not worth it. It's definitely a fair trade. It's only 16 spots. They're getting the 24-year-old Quarterman. Hopefully this guy's decent. At least be hidden, because if not, then we just made a terrible decision. Okay, we made a great decision. 75 overall, Ethan O'Neal, hidden development really fast. He skipped the combine. If he didn't skip the combine, I would have debated it with that potential, but skipping the combine, there's a very good chance that their dev is at least hidden. And, of course, that is exactly what happened. Don't get me wrong, I think Dees is insane. This guy is like, a top 10, top 15 prospect, considering how hard it is to draft tight end, but I don't think we can afford to trade up anymore. Overton's a little bit of a debate to me, and Schneider is a position we need the most. So I think we're going to go to the 3rd round. I do want to slow sim until we see the 2 guys there, see how good they were. Damn, you see a bunch of guys under 69 overall, and then you see D's out of nowhere with a 75. So Overton is there, and so is Schneider. Overton's not really that great, in fairness, but he was, of the players available, the better of the 2. So I think we're going to go until we see one of them go. Mainly, I'm assuming because he's a higher overall, it is Jesus. 71 overall. That's not what I meant by overall, because obviously he's 71. That's not very good, but he was a higher projected pick. I think we can get we can get away with trading everything here to the Raiders. We didn't trade the first time to the Raiders, so don't say, he's trading to the Raiders too much. We intended to, and we just didn't. We traded them 4-5 and McLaughlin for 68. I still don't think that's fair, so we're going to make another trade. We trade them 2 7ths and then a 5th next year to make it more fair. Hopefully this guy's good. Once again, this is easily a player that could just be a good player and bad dev, or just bad and bad. Okay, his overall is bad, but he is a hidden. He is a hidden, and that's the main goal. The thing is, though, I don't really feel comfortable starting him as a 68 overall. Of course, pretty much as far as our draft goes, I think the next player we have is an undrafted projected lineman. Did we get rid of our... No, we didn't have to get rid of any main picks next year because we had tradable players like Quarterman and whatnot. But we are going to take Mr. Hepburn, who is... I'm really surprised that he's a higher overall than the guy we just drafted, but it was a good pick. Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, we landed some good hittins. As far as no first-round pick goes, I know we did have 2 late seconds, which kind of, almost adds up to that late first. But, I mean, as far as that goes, we did really well. We got starters. That's the main thing. Davenport, nice superstar development. I will take that. O'Neal, we actually landed all... No, the guy we just drafted wasn't hidden. O'Neal, star development. Yeah, I kind of expected that. And then Schneider, I don't know, something lower overall, maybe a higher dev? Damn, not at all. Now I do kind of want to see Overton because he is 71 overall. Something tells me probably was normal. Overton, 71 overall. Okay, he is kind of worse, though. Please be star. Please be star. And I'm not going to talk about it. Superstar. We took him literally 1 pick after. Oh, God. Either way, I'm really happy with the draft. Can't really be mad with it. Probably should have taken... Yeah, we'll take a look at the tight end, actually. 75 overall. Something tells me he could have been normal. Hopefully not. They don't need him. Greedy, man. And, of course, he was hidden. Look at how good that speed is, though. 85 speed, 90 excel, 85 agility I've seen as well. A little bit of juke move as far as a tight end goes. Blocking, something more to be desired there. But, I mean, not bad. Not great either, though, to be fair. Receiving... Definitely on the the worst side, but that's how all tight ends go. So let's see that development. Please be star. Please be star. And he is star. Okay, so he's still a really good player, but star development, I think John is just as good. I think he's good enough. All right, this is what the offense looks like for the year of 3. Not bad at all. I mean, I think once again this team is still trying to develop. Is Westbrook regressing? Was that a regression? I see. I thought he was 83, Either way. It's not a bad offense. I think it's definitely good enough to make the playoffs. Defense, I think, has a lot of improved pieces. I don't even think that. I know that because obviously we improved 4 positions this offseason. Technically 5 if you want to consider Davenport once he fully gets going. We know the business. He's an X Factor. You would see that in practice almost immediately. An X Factor is basically a full-blown all-pro beast right out the gate. And obviously you would see that in, several months of off-season practice. So he's going to play the number 1 spot. Taven Bryan, you can already see his face. He learned that he's the new number 2 again. And then the linebacker's not going to change. Miles Jack, 25. Okay, fair enough. But that's pretty much that. I mean, it should be another playoff season, and maybe we'll actually win the game this time. All right, looking at re-signings, I did see DJ Chark, which we will give him in the... maximums. Well, let's give him a 6-year. Let's give him a 7-year. Who cares? Gonna pay him big bucks. He finally showed up last year with Minshew, and we're gonna reward him for that. And I think Taven Bryan, we're gonna give him a 4-year deal as a backup. I think he, fits that deal for us. Ronnie Harrison, give him a 6-year deal. I think it's starting to come together a little bit. Looking at some of the other contracts, I don't really need to worry about those. Devin McCourty maybe get another year, probably not. Alex Mack, it's maybe another year, probably not though. And then we have a bunch of backups here that we might re-sign just for depth. Okay, I didn't expect this, but Chasen is now a superstar development. All right, we made a hell of a push, and we have a bye week. We end up going all the way to 12-4. At first, I was like, ooh, 2-2, and then we go 3-3, and then we just win all the way across the board, except for the Patriots. Big shocker there. Of course, the Patriots would ruin our dreams. Texans at 11-5. Trevor Lawrence, pretty damn good season. Finally, properly showing up. I mean, I say finally, but this is literally his 2nd year in the league, and last year wasn't terrible. Leonard Fournette, really good stuff. Maybe even X Factor. Chenault, that should be superstar. Chark, doubt he'd get to X Factor, but you never know. Johnny Smith, decent year. Day, just, third player, third position in wide receivers, usually goes like that. Joe Schobert, maybe superstar. Please get to superstar. Sack totals were very good this year. Davenport a little low, but he was a rookie. 3 guys at double digits. I am all about that. All about it. Kicking, Lambo is good. Yeah, this was just a really good year. This is probably going to be the best we're going to see, but it really isn't the best unless we cap it off with a very good playoff run. Fields for the Jets is an 89 overall, 4th ranked on MVP. Trevor Lawrence at 6. However, this guy is at 7. look at the proper awards. Did we win a single one? It would appear Davenport did win Rookie of the Year on defense. I'll take that. Trevor Lawrence at number 3, so that's a Pro Bowl for him. Leonard Fournette at number 2. Could go to X Factor. You never know. Linder at number 2. Anyone else? Norwell at number 8. D-lineman, we had Josh Allen at number 3. Chasen at number 7. It was a pretty good year. Can't go wrong with what we had there. General manager, heck of a game this week. Coach, have you checked the league standings yet? So we get that plus 20 morale. Our overall's got to be pretty decent here. All right, so new ability for Leonard Fournette as well. So 88 overall across the board. That's, well, 89 offense, actually. So really good season. Really good stuff. Really good overalls. A 90 overall Leonard Fournette who looks very mean. Bulldozer and pin and pull guru, which is, I mean, you can't really go wrong with those. Receivers, we got 90-plus overall DJ Chark. Oh, that's just filthy. Even got his agility up a little bit throughout this one. Streak specialist, so he's kind of a tank. 87 overall, Chenault. Deep route's not great, but we already have Chark for that anyways, so it is what it is there. Schneider pretty much set to start whenever Norwell or, of course, if we lose Mac this season, Boone has to go over to the spot. And then defensively, everything looks pretty damn good to me. Chasen, superstar development, and he's about to get an ability here. It's not going to matter for Sim, as we've tested that already. But still, I mean, better to have it than to not, I suppose. Gets finesse specialist. What's his hit power? He got a +2 there. Nice, 84 hit power. Okay, I mean, we're ready. We're ready. I don't know. Oh, the Texans. I don't know if anyone else is as ready as we can be right now. 88 to their 83. This could be it. Could be the Super Bowl right here. Going to the end of the game, please, Jacksonville, show everyone how good you are. 10-0. It is the Texans team who does make the Super Bowl a lot, so to even be in this position is pretty good. 13-3, 16-3. Defense is crushing it right now. 19-6. I mean, offense tried their very best to give the Texans the win, and the defense just said no. They did not let him have it. And him being Deshaun Watson and that Texans offense, like I said, was absolutely horrible. Come on, Trevor. Show up in the postseason for us, and we'll get ourselves a ring here. I promise you. I promise you here. Josh Lambo, though. Legend. 4 for 4. The Bengals. Okay. 85 overall Bengals. We're 88 overall, so we are still better. At least let us see this. Oh, God. At least let us see the Super Bowl. I don't care if we win it. Just let us see it. That's all I want. Cincy, stop. Stop. You have plenty of time. We've seen the Sims. You guys always do well. The Jaguars never get their damn time. Defense is trying its hardest, but offense has got to cooperate. Offense is doing a decent job. Right now, I'm not liking it. And a 4th and 1. They lose. No. Really? I can't accept it. I just can't accept it. If they beat us in Sim, fair enough. They beat us in Sim. But guess what they didn't do? They didn't beat us in Sim. And I'll show you guys, we didn't we didn't cheat per se, but we did. What do you mean? I only see one played game. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Here's the stats. It does feel kind of dirty to do that because of all the times that did seem kind of realistic. 4th and 1, they ran. No, it isn't, because you wouldn't run with your backup when you have Leonard Fournette. Nah, the game did cheese us. Nah, I can't lie. They did cheese us. Why is Leonard Fournette not in that situation? I don't care what you want to say, whether he's tired or not. You just delay as much as you can, and he comes out there. I'll show you guys that we have him on everything starting. The only time he comes out is if he's tired. In a 4th and 1 situation, you can't be tired. You literally can't. He's an all-star athlete. He just wouldn't be tired in that situation. He would have the juice. They ran with the backup. I just stand by my decision wholeheartedly. I don't care. We're coming away with this Super Bowl win, whether you like it or not, unless we legit lose here to the Giants, who totally deserve it. Leonard Fournette, the guy that apparently was too tired, had an X Factor season. Chark didn't go up, but Chenault did, which is a huge dev up. These receivers are looking very good right now defensively. Joe Schobert does not go up in overall, but apparently Chasen does go up to Superstar X Factor, which I don't understand at all. I would have thought Schobert would have been the guy on defense. But obviously this team is looking fierce. We're going against the Giants, who shouldn't even be comparatively... No, they are 86. Okay, fair enough. They did get Tyson Campbell. How good of an overall is he right now? Obviously, we made the right decision with Trevor Lawrence, but if we wouldn't have, we would have went with Tyson Campbell for sure. How good is he for the Giants? I'm kind of curious here. 89 overall at 22, and he's an X factor. Damn, he is good. He is a very good player. They don't compare to us, though. Even though their overall's high, they just don't. So, come on, Jacksonville. Do the right thing and win. Going to the end of the game. Looks like we did a good defensive stop. We get the 3 points. We get the 7. We get another 7. Halftime is going to be an interesting score of 17-6. 24-6 now. I do not feel bad now. Knowing what we just did to the Giants in the Super Bowl, even though they're coming up here with like a last-second comeback decision, I don't feel bad about replaying the game because it was a 4th and 1, and you put in Jalen Richard, the guy that gets like 300 yards a game. Like, there's no such thing as, oh, the backup running back's in on 4th and 1. Clearly, there's no chance at running it. It's not a trick play, okay? They're going to be stacked at the line of scrimmage. Worst comes to worst, they will blitz you. You can't back up on 4th and 1, so you got to put your best players in that situation. Leonard Fournette, especially a power back 1-yard needed situation, is the best. He's the same speed, actually faster than Jalen Richard. Way better power, way better juke ability, and he wasn't in on 4th and 1. Suck it if you're mad at me for redoing that game. There was no force wins. The Jaguars are on top of the world. If you're mad at that, you're just mad because the Jaguars have done it, okay? And you might be mad that the video is coming to an end. But I'm happy with that. Super successful rebuild, and still so much more left to come if we decided to play more, which I don't think we really need to because obviously we got the ultimate goal. And there it is. Trevor Lawrence finally showing up with a 3-touchdown, 0-pick performance. You know, offense was still very shaky. Defense was just locked down. Those DBs were amazing. The defense was great, too. Josh Allen with 3 sacks. Davenport. What else do we have? Kicking. They missed 1 field goal. Might have, played a little bit of a factor. But that's going to be that. I will also show you guys that we did not cheat and, force win the Super Bowl or anything like that. We didn't do any of those natures. We literally just won. Simply put, Super Bowl 1 played, no force wins. No force wins across the board. So that was the rebuild of realisticness of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is what the team looks like. Obviously, we do have some regressions and maybe even some people retiring. Back being one of them. We would move Boone to left guard. Let's do that. Let's just make it look good real quick. So we got Boone to left guard. We got Schneider in a tackle. We have all the receivers set where they should be. Defensively, everything is set there. Devin McCourty, we would probably replace and just let Thompson start again. And, I mean, it's a great team. Obviously, there is a little bit of morale boost, can't lie. But still, it's a great roster, and they would probably go on to at least visit the Super Bowl again within the next 2 years. But we got our ultimate goal, rebuild the Jaguars in a pretty tough division. Surprisingly, though, the Titans, they just never showed up. I don't know what that was all about. Actually, no, they went 9-7 one time. But, yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't really know why they went 5-11. Tannehill's probably gone, to be fair. But either way, that was the rebuild. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and maybe, I don't know, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Check out the second channel, PKR Plays, and maybe look at the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Jeromepkr. Should have a stream up tomorrow. Not sure what we're going to do. Probably some Superstar KO, maybe some other game as well. I don't know. But yeah, play some Superstar KO with you guys, and I think it'd be like 9 Central, 10 Central, one of the two for a few hours. Regardless, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you come back for next video. Longest outro of all time. But until next video, see ya!